Kuwait is a Middle Eastern country found in between Iraq and Saudi Arabia, just off the Persian Gulf. Kuwait has a population of roughly 2.5 million people, a majority of them living near its capital, Kuwait City.
The name Kuwait comes from the Arabic word Quds, which means a fortress built near water. Kuwait has a rich culture and a diverse array of people. But how did this interesting nation come to be?
Historians did not know much about the region of Kuwait, but it was clear that it was under Muslim rule. There is evidence of human life in the area as far back as 500 BC. There's also evidence of trade routes going through the area that is Kuwait today.
In the 19th century, many neighboring nations sought after Kuwait and all of its wealth. One of them was the Ottoman Empire, which controlled Asia and most of Europe. The ruler of Kuwait, Mubarak al-Sabah, made a deal with Great Britain where he promised not to give territory or negotiate with other powers as long as the British vowed to protect Kuwait from its enemies.
Under another agreement between Kuwait and Britain, Kuwait became a fully independent nation on June 19, 1961. They continued to celebrate their independence on February 25th each year. As the years passed in Kuwait, tension began to rise with its neighboring countries, especially Iraq.
Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990, causing the emir and his cabinet to flee to Saudi Arabia. On January 1991, there was a shooting war with many nations, including Kuwait, with the goal of receiving a surrender from Iraq. Iraq surrendered, but before they left, they set several of Kuwait's oil wells on fire.
Marine Corps units on the Kuwait border in some of the fiercest fighting of the war took 100 Iraqi prisoners within sight of the more than 200 fires the Iraqis have lit in the oil fields. This is the Ghadar field. Iraq is destroying lives as well as oil fields in Kuwait. The U.S. says it has intelligence that Kuwaitis are being pulled from the streets in roundups, apparently aimed at getting rid of witnesses to earlier atrocities.
On March 1991, the emir returned and the National Assembly was restored. When Saddam Hussein was captured on March 20, 2003, the threat to Kuwait was over.
United States military forces captured Saddam Hussein alive. He was found near a farmhouse outside the city of Tikrit in a swift raid conducted without casualties. And now the former dictator of Iraq will face the justice he denied to millions.
Look what the Allies have done to civilian services, and the question, who is going to pay reparations?
Today, Iraq continues to be a problem with Kuwait because they are politically unstable. Kuwait also has problems with Iran. Iran was accused of trying to develop nuclear weapons. There was also an Iranian spy ring that was found in Kuwait, which caused further tension between the two countries.
The Arab Spring, a movement spreading through the area, found its way into Kuwait. The demonstrators in the movement believe that the government is corrupt and demand reform. To try ending the protesting, the government of Kuwait gave every Kuwaiti citizen a very sufficient amount of money along with free food.
This is the heart of Kuwait's simmering opposition movement, where thousands have gathered in the streets to protest what they see as massive corruption at the top, the subversion of the rule of law, as well as increasing clampdown on dissent.
Just like the government, the roles within families are changing too.
Kuwaitis are extremely close to their family members, and they consider their friends and neighbors to be just as close as their actual relatives. Very often, one would find multiple generations of one family under the same roof. Recently, family roles have changed dramatically. Traditionally, women stayed home and did the tasks that were considered to be proper for women, like cooking, cleaning, and taking care of children. Now, more and more women are seeking out an education and getting a career.
Children can be found doing the same kind of recreational activities that you would observe in the US. They like to pass their time watching TV, surfing the web, or playing video games. In the past, parents would be in charge of who their child married. Today, many young people seek out their own spouses without the interference of their parents. Kuwait's mindset is changing, and these changes can be easily seen in the dynamic of the average Kuwaiti family.
The Kuwaiti culture is made up of loving and respectful aspects and gestures. A traditional Kuwaiti greeting is generally held between two people of the same sex. To show respect, you grasp the other person's right hand and place your left hand on their shoulder. You then exchange a single kiss on each cheek. During a greeting, one would usually initiate a conversation. Popular topics include family, friends, mutual interests, and health. When you enter a Kuwaiti's home, you should check and see if the host is wearing shoes. If the host's shoes are off, it is respectful to remove yours as well. When you are invited to a Kuwaiti's home, it is respectful to bring a gift with you to show appreciation. Gifts usually consist of chocolates, plants, or a gift from your hometown. When you go to a Kuwaiti home, you should try to dress conservatively. You should cover up your knees and your shoulders. When you greet the family, you should always greet the elder first as a sign of respect. When you are offered food or something to drink, you should always accept. To decline is to show a sign of rejection of the host's kindness. When you are eating at the table, you should only eat with your right hand, for eating with your left hand is considered inappropriate.
Special guests are often served exotic foods, including sheep's head. When you're finished eating, you should always leave a small amount of food on your plate, or you will be served more. The meal is over when the host is finished, so you should remain at the table until the host stands. The dress code in Kuwait ranges from very conservative to casual, depending on different people's religious beliefs. Some men wear a keffiyeh and an ajal abisht, and a thawb dishdasha. This type of clothing is very conservative and religious. If men choose to dress casually, they can wear whatever they desire. Some women in Kuwait follow the dress code of covering their knees, arms, elbows, neck, and hair. Other women choose to wear whatever they choose. How you present yourself in Kuwait reflects your convictions, so it is crucial that people are confident in what they believe in. Since beliefs are fostered at a young age, it is essential that the nation is provided with a substantial education.
The Kuwaiti government knows that development of knowledge is the backbone of a nation, so Kuwaiti children receive a free education from kindergarten up until graduate school. This includes transportation, uniforms, books, and lunches. Many Kuwaitis send their children to private school, which are often co-ed and are attended by people from all over the world. Private education is partially funded by the government.
Public schools are separated by gender starting in kindergarten. The school year is roughly the same as the school year in the US, starting in the fall and ending in the summer. Children are required to attend school from ages 6 to 14. Education is very important to Kuwait, and that's why it is so accessible to its citizens.
Traditional music of Kuwait tells the stories of early life. The songs describe the pearling, fishing, and shipbuilding of long ago. They are not listened to on a regular basis anymore. During religious celebrations, maulids are sung by specially trained men and women.
They tell the story of the Prophet Muhammad. Now, just like any other country, Kuwait is surrounded by a variety of genres of music. Popular music here in the US can be found just about anywhere in Kuwait, because it is exposed to the different musical cultures of the world.
Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do.
The country of Kuwait is filled with life, beauty, and wonder. It is a place where you can explore the diverse culture along with looking inside yourself. Kuwait welcomes all types of people with open arms and is a country that is truly loved by its citizens. So take a chance because Kuwait is waiting.